guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we're going to talk about what happens after you get your domicile and what are the best necessary steps to take to make sure you have a smooth transition, okay? This topic was inspired by someone in the comments. Mr. Isaiah asked about the relocation process and how that works. So I decided to make a video about that. So thank you for the topic. Also, I wanted to let the rest of you guys know if you have any topics that you want me to go over, I will definitely make a video if applicable, and if I know enough information, I will definitely try to make a video for you guys so you don't have to have a hard time going through whatever transition or trying to find whatever answers to questions you may have. Thank you to those of you who have subscribed, and thank you for liking the video. Thank you for the commentary that we're having in the comments. That does help with my engagement, and it helps, put my videos out there in the algorithm. So thank you guys so much, and please continue to do that. And I will do my part and make the content for you guys. So help me help you, and like the video and subscribe, okay? Let's just jump right into it. So let's say you are in training and you get assigned your domicile. So first off, let's backtrack. Your company will ask you to rank all of the bases that you will want to stay in from the order of 1 to 10, 1 to 15, whatever the case may be, versus what you really want, down to what domicile you don't really want to stay at will be the last option. And I do have a domicile strategy video that you can watch. It's called Domicile Strategy. Let me know in the comments, and I will put the link down below in the comments for you guys to refer to, but definitely check that out to make sure you are using the best strategy possible when choosing your domicile. So after you rank those off, of course, the company will ultimately decide where they want to put you based on company needs. What I will say is that you don't need to listen to the rumors. You don't need to listen to anyone saying, don't let anyone discourage you from the bases that you pick, okay? There are a lot of people who always say, this base is senior, this base never has new people, this base is about to close, this base is about to open. Don't listen to all that, because company needs change every single day, okay? That's number one. So we're going to just use the example in my instance where I really wanted Dallas. However, I got based in Denver. So we're just going to use my experience as the example that we're going to discuss today. So we're going to speak in terms of doing what I wish I would have done when it came to the relocation process and getting my new domicile and how to move from there. So once I got Denver, the best thing I should have done was start networking that day, okay? You have the list, and you can see everybody who and where they're based at and who's based in, I think our top 3 was Dallas, Salt Lake, and San Francisco, I believe. So those are the top 3. From there, I would basically be networking and, getting to know the people who are also based in Denver, because of course I didn't live in Denver. So it's best to room with people or try to get a place with someone that you know, and the people that you know would be the people that you went to class with. It's easier to vet those people that you see on a day-to-day basis than complete random strangers that you're just meeting on Facebook or, word of mouth, So I personally would have networked with my other classmates, figured out what they're gonna do, just ask them, hey, what are your plans? Do you know someone out here? Are you looking for a crash pad? You want to look together? Do you want to get a hotel together? Because I did not ask anybody in class what they were doing, how they were doing it, because I was like, I don't want to be in Denver. I want to be in Dallas. So I'm not even going to put any effort into looking up anything about Denver, because I want to go to Dallas. So one thing about me, when I want something, when I'm serious about something, I don't put any effort into anything else. I put effort into what I want. So that's just me personally, but of course, this is what I do to, you know, fast track my manifestations. I'm living as if I was going and doing apartment hunts in Dallas. I moved to Dallas before I even got based there, but everything ended up falling into place. However, with Denver, I would ask my classmates, where are you guys staying? What are you guys doing? Or get buddied up with someone, and then you guys decide on, you guys can do the hotel route where you get a hotel room and you split it in half, the payment in half. Of course, find a discounted hotel. There are a lot of hotels that offer discounts for flight attendants. So always ask. You can call before you go and say, hey, I'm a flight attendant. Do you all offer any discount rates? If so, what are they? So you know ahead of time. And you can split that between another one of your crew members, okay? Also, it doesn't have to be just one crew member. It can be between 3, because if you want to get real thrifty, you guys can split one hotel room with 3 people. Someone stays on the couch, on a pull-out couch, and then there will be 2 beds. So that's an option too, and you can split it 3 ways. With that way, I would also try to line up your schedules to kind of be similar off days, so that you're booking your rooms, you're getting a room at the same time, so that you're not having to spend so much money on your own room. Now, that can get hectic, but that's an idea, you know? The hotel route worked best for me because I don't do well with a bunch of personalities, a bunch of different people, and I like a clean space. I don't even like to share with one person. So I had to make it work, and it worked out. That person that I was rooming with, she was perfect. We were barely around each other. Everything just worked out, but I don't know how it would work in a crash pad with 12 other people and 12 other personalities, 12 different body odors during a pandemic. No ma'am. No ma'am, no ham, no turkey. I'm not doing that. So do what is comfortable for you. Also keep in mind that everyone around you is traveling, and you can get, prone to getting sick. So please keep that in mind. That's another thing. Moving on, if you want to do the crash pad option, you want to start going on Facebook, not only networking with your classmates, going on Facebook. You can also ask your instructors, do they know of any crash pads? Because they're also flight attendants, so they may have some insight for you on crash pads. And you want to put yourself in position where you're in different Facebook groups asking about crash pads and things like that. When it comes to crash pads, please be aware that there are people who scam others. So in order to not get scammed, number 1, you need to go to the crash pad that you intend on going to stay at, okay? Don't just be so desperate for a place to stay that you sign anything online and you send payment, and then you're just like, okay, I'm just gonna show up, because that's how you get scammed, okay? You need to go to the place, check the crash pad out, see if you actually like it. Is that somewhere that you want to stay, okay? Then you want to introduce yourself to the crash pad owner, make sure you like them. You want to talk to a flight attendant that actually lives in the crash pad, because they will tell you if it's worth even staying, okay? I have heard of plenty of flight attendants who stayed at the crash pad, and either 1, they got scammed, or 2, it's like a horrible situation. 3, the other flight attendants are super messy, dirty. It's always some nasty, crazy drama, and it's like, we could have just avoided all that had we just asked a flight attendant for a review. Who stays there? Like, how do you like it? What do I need to be prepared for? So I definitely recommend getting a review, getting all that. There's also an option to get an Airbnb. Like, you can get one in a house and just get a room. inside of the house. I know someone who did that option. I'm not sure how much it costs, but definitely look into that. If you're staying somewhere that has, it's called Minute Suites. Minute Suites is where you can stay at it's like a airport mini hotel. They have showers, they have beds. You want to look it up. It's called minutesuites.com. I know there's one in Dallas. There's one in like Charlotte, and I believe there's one in Atlanta. And I think there's one in Philly. There are a couple. That's an option too. If you want to just stay in a Minute Suites, I think it's like $50 a night. You can take a shower, you can sleep, and you're already at the airport, so you don't have to worry about, extra time to get ready to catch a cab or catch the train to get to work. So definitely look into that option. Now, once you graduate from training, you will get your base, and then you have 3 move-in days. These 3 move-in days are days that the company will pay for your hotel stay wherever you want. But you have to use them within the first 6 months of getting the new base. So that means, for my instance, if I got based in Denver, I can use my move-in days and ask for a hotel. You would call crew support, and I believe you would call in-flight support, and you would say, hey, I need a hotel for 3 nights for my move-in days, and I want them at, I could say Denver, or I could say Atlanta, or I could say Dallas. I could say anywhere, and they will give me a hotel for 3 consecutive nights. You cannot split those days up. So for 3 consecutive nights. Okay, so I use my move-in days so I got my reserve schedule for March, and I decided to use my hotel days for the first 3 days that I was based in Denver because I needed a place to stay. So I was like, I'm just gonna use the move-in days and use the hotel days because I need a place to stay. And then that gave me like 3 nights to figure out, okay, what are you gonna do the next time you come out here? When the next time came around, I think I ended up getting a hotel. I have a video on that where I was trying to, that was the like commute or quit my job thing where I talked about my crash pad experience and what I ended up deciding. And I went with the hotel route. I ended up meeting someone and we did the hotel thing. So figure out what you want to do, what's economical for your pockets, and what you're willing to do. If you're willing to deal with 30 personalities in one house, you can deal with that real world, then do it, but not me. I'm very much about like what my mental capacity can take, and I don't want to deal with that. But do what works for you. Now, I got based for Denver, and I was very dead set on getting based to Dallas. So every month I would always put in a transfer for Dallas every single month. I don't care what everyone kept saying. The rumor is that Dallas is super senior. I may never get it. It may take a year or 2. Yada, yada, yada. It only took 4 months, honey. 4 months of putting in transfer for Dallas every single time, and I got it. So do not get discouraged and just settle for a place that you don't want to stay at because you are listening to the rumors. So I don't recommend listening to what everyone else is saying. Now, what I wish I would have done was when you put in your transfer, you can put in, I believe you can put up to 5 different options of where you would want to be based in the event that you don't get your first option. However, every time that I put in a transfer, I only put one option, and that was Dallas. I was like, Dallas or die. I'm not doing nothing else. If I would have had someone who made a channel like mine, then I would have put Dallas first. Then I would have chosen places that are closer to Atlanta at the time. So the next closest base, I would have put Chicago down as another option because that's only about a 40-minute flight from Atlanta to Chicago versus the 3-hour flight I was taking from Atlanta to Denver. And that is what made me really not like commuting, is because it was 3 hours of my day being taken just to get to work and then 3 hours to come back. that's draining. I can do 40 minutes, that's better. So definitely when you're making your transfer list, put down the place that you want to be, but also put in places that would be an easier commute for you. Because if you're somewhere like, I was friends with someone who stayed in Boston and who took 2 flights to get to Denver. And it's like, that's sick. That's sick. So pick other options that are convenient to you. And if you don't get, in my case, if I didn't get Dallas, at least I had got Chicago. And then you put in another bid for the next month to get Dallas. And you work from Chicago until you get Dallas. So that would have been a way better option for me. So those are like all my tips as far as like what you want to do as soon as you get your domicile. Now, if you are someone, I think this job is like really perfect for people who maybe are fresh out of college, are living in their parents' house, and then you're comfortable with just picking up your life and moving somewhere else immediately. That's easier, of course. Like, no, I'm not just gonna pick up and move Pepper all around the world. Like, no, we need one destination, and I chose Dallas. So that's where I want it to be at. But you just have to find out what is gonna work for you. Always keep the crash pads in mind. There's the Minute Suites, there's the Airbnb, there's a hotel option. So there's plenty of options. And if you want to, you can just get an apartment with other people that are in your class. That's an option too. So you can definitely get creative with what you want your living situation to be. But explore your options and network. Figure out what you can take. If you've never roomed with people or you never roomed with a lot of people, is that something that you want to experience on top of experiencing a new job, in a new environment? So in my case, it would have been in Denver, new area, with a whole bunch of new people and a new job. Like, that's too many struggles, okay? I don't like all that. So figure out what works for you and what idea do you have in your mind. Set a budget. Tell yourself, hey, we're not going over that budget. Now, crash pads can get expensive, but find out what will work for you. Personally, I wanted a place that will provide transportation to and from the airport. Like, that was like a deal breaker for me. Like, I need that. So find the things that will work for you. You want to also make sure they have a microwave and kitchen area that you can use. Make sure they're not too far from the airport if you have to call an Uber, if the transportation is not a deal breaker for you. Another thing, you also want to make sure your crash pad has a washer and dryer you can use. I have heard of people having crash pads that don't have one, and it's like, what if you need to clean your clothes? So make sure those things, write down your deal breakers for crash pads, and be prepared for that. If you know people in the area that you're based in, maybe have a conversation with them and see if that's somewhere you can crash when you're in town. There's plenty of ways, but I hope that I explained some of the options well for you guys. If you have any more questions, let me know down in the comments. Make sure you like the video and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And I will see you guys in the next video. Hey y'all, I'm back. Drop a crown in the comments if you are still here with me. But look what I found. I was in BWI and I saw a flyer for Minute Suites. So definitely check it out if you're in need of a little place to lay your head, and tell them your girl Real Pristine sent you, okay? Bye.